Hello there, my friend. I hope you are well. It is March, March 2025. Can you believe it? And that date holds a lot of significance for the whole world. I think 5 years ago, right? Can you believe that? 5 years ago, things shifted in our realities. And I want us to kind of use that as the connection point for what we're going to discuss throughout this month of March. And that is our energy. Our energy. And I'm going to talk about energy differently week on week than what I think maybe you expect. So you're going to want to be locked into these teachings every week for this entire month. My name is Sabrina Militello. Thank you for being here in my coaching corner. And we're just going to dive right in because this week's focus, subsection of energy, is your excuses. That wasn't the energy topic you were expecting. It wasn't. Your excuses. Now listen, 5 years ago, we were hit with something that the majority of us had never experienced before, right? A lot of things shifted in our environment. A lot of things shifted in our understanding of the world. A lot of things changed when it came to how we operate and how we perceive things. There was a lot of division that kind of created more and more cracks in relationships and in our society. And I think it highlighted that many of us live with the excuses of when I have more time or when I have more energy or when this thing happens, then I will. There's always a reason for not taking action. 5 years ago, for many of us, those reasons were stripped away. The reasons for not taking action were stripped away. We were at home, so the lack of time no longer became an issue. We were given, like some people were handed financial kind of help. So maybe the reason of not having money was stripped away. Many of us had our work kind of environments and expectations of where our time commitment according to work was going completely transformed, a change that still for many exists today. And so not having the freedom to do X, Y, and Z, the excuse of that was stripped away. And yet, how many of us truly stepped into the next level of who we want to be? How many of us truly got in the best health of our lives, started that business, healed those relationships, worked on that career advancement, got those skills, developed those abilities? How many of us can really stand in a space of saying, I did that? I took that time that was handed to us, the lucky few, and I used that for my forward gain. I used that for all the reasons why I said, I can't do X, Y, and Z because of A, B, and C. Now A, B, and C were no longer there. I actually went and did X, Y, and Z. How many of us can say that? Not enough is the answer to that question. And if you're one of those people who always lives under the excuse of your current circumstance, I have something that I want to share with you that I think will change how you perceive the limits that you have going on in your head. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Somebody much smarter than me said that a number of years ago. Was the first time I heard it, and it completely blew me away to the point when everything happened 5 years ago. I looked at my situation. I looked at where I was in my health, in my business, in my sense of self. I looked at it head on and I said, if you are still the same version of yourself, Sabrina, on the other side of all of this, you're simply adding to the tragedy of this situation we're in. I said those words to myself. If you're still the same version of you on the other side of all of this, you're adding to the tragedy of this whole situation. Because I was holding on to so many excuses, so many self-perceived limitations, and I was arguing for them every day. Yeah, but, if only, maybe if. Those were my arguments every day. And so guess what? I got to keep all of those limitations. And it took that happening 5 years ago for me to look myself dead in the eye and confront all the reasons why I wasn't doing what I said I wanted so badly. And it wasn't because of the lack of time. It wasn't because of the lack of finances. It wasn't because of the lack of freedom. It was everything that was going on in here. The healing that I had to do, the skill development that I had to do, the getting out of my own way that I had to do, the personal growth, the personal development that I had to do. Those were the unlocks to me being able to get into the best physical shape of my life, to break a destructive cycle that I was still in my relationship with food, to advance my business, starting a new one. So I now have started and scaled 3 businesses through all of that craziness that we went through as a society. So this isn't a exercise in self-flagellation for you to kind of be like, well, I didn't do anything, so I suck. No, that's just another excuse. I got you. That's just another excuse. This is a moment where you get to reflect and you get to truly confront the things that you say are blocking you. Because if you still have the excuses today that you did in 2019, having gone through everything that we went through in the 3+ years of that societal shift, then is that change something you really want? Or is it just cool for you to say? That's going to be really hard for you to hear, because we hold on to the growth that we want to experience, or the thing in our life that we want to change. If that's your health, maybe there's a diagnosis that you know is reversible if you change some of your lifestyle habits. Maybe there's relationships that we're in that are not serving us, that are maybe harming us, that we won't come out of because we feel a certain way about ourselves. Maybe there's a career that you want to progress into, or a business that you want to start, but because you don't think that you can, or success isn't for you, you don't do what is necessary. It's easier for you to stay in the situation that you say you don't want than it is for you to go out there and pursue the change that you do. And you have to come to a realization that the thing that's blocking you is you. The thing that's blocking you is you. I had a similar message in what we talked about last week. And that message will continue to come up because it is the through line, I think, for so much of what it's going to take for you to overcome the blocks that you have in your life. It's not the government. It's not this situation. It's not that person. It's not your financial circumstance. It's you. Once you decide that things are going to change because you're now going to be about it, you're not just going to talk about it, then everything starts to shift. That sentence again, if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So when are you going to stop arguing for what you say you don't want? And when are you going to start arguing for what you say you do want? And that's the thing. What are you going to argue for? What is your time, your energy, your attention going to? Is it in the direction of everything you say you don't want and kind of cementing its existence because that's where all your focus goes? Or is it towards the things that you do want and the inevitable change that comes with sending all of your focus there? Because both take effort, right? None of us, I hope, are deluded enough to think that either path is just sunshine and rainbows. It's hard to be in a situation that doesn't serve you. It's hard to be in a situation that makes you doubt yourself, makes you frustrated, makes you in panic mode, makes you in survival mode. It's hard to be in that environment. And it's also hard to do what is necessary to change it. Both require effort. John Gary Bishop posted something the other day that really resonated with me on this same thread. And he said, everything in life takes effort, including living the life that you don't want. Everything requires effort, including living the life that you don't want. And you get to choose where that effort goes. So I hope this served you. I hope it gave you something tangible to latch onto and recognize where it is that your excuses are what is blocking you, where it is that you're arguing for the the things that you say you don't want. And if you need a clue about what that looks like, every time you say, yeah, but, that's an argument for your limitation. Yeah, I understand why that's a problem, but, and usually the but, what comes after the but, is some kind of fear that you're exposing, some kind of fear that you're identifying. So start to listen to how you respond to situations, how you respond to growth opportunities. When somebody gives you an opportunity to step outside of what your current situation is telling you is possible and step into more of what you want, notice how you respond to that. Notice the first thoughts that come into your head and the knee-jerk response to those opportunities. Notice it. And then from there, we can start to make some different choices. And these things affect your energy because your excuses are using all of your energy right now. Staying in a circumstance or a situation that you don't want to be in is sapping all of your energy. And so when you realize, I don't have anything left for what it is that I actually want, that's the reason. It's because all of your attention and energy is going towards where you don't want it to be. It's time, to change that, okay? I would love to know what your thoughts are about this. Write a comment below. Consider subscribing to the channel too. I would love that. Or dive into my DMs. Come and find me on social media and let's have a discussion about it. I would love to give you a few more insights, maybe clear some confusion that you may have about some situations that you're addressing right now and help you move forward. I'll see you next time.